It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That's brand new stuff from Pink Cream 69. The name of that song was Path of Destiny. And on the line right now, we have the guy singing the Path of Destiny. It is David Readman. David, how are you, man?
I'm all good. What a great pleasure it is to be on your show today.
Excellent, man. Well, David, Headstrong is out now, or it's on its way to being out now. It's recorded now, and it's an excellent release, as any PC69 record usually is. It's amazing how much fire you guys still have after 30 years of being a band. It doesn't sound at all like you're, resting on your laurels.
That sounds great, man. That sounds great. With this record, the most important thing for us is that it has to rock. Mm-hmm. We've made a few records, like you said. It's been a while. It's been 30 years for the band, 22 for myself, but we're still out there. I'm out most weekends rocking or playing the blues or whatever.
Right.
And it just hasn't stopped for me. Also, Dennis has been really busy with the Unisonic thing, and it's in the blood, man.
Sure. Now let's talk a little bit about this new record, Headstrong. It's everything you would expect from Pink Cream 69. It's got a couple of little maybe nuances that are a little bit different, but overall, I think it's it's everything you would expect if you're aware of the band. Correct?
Absolutely, and like you said, the nuances are just things that we brought along from the other things we were doing. We've sort of gone off on a tangent, you could say, and done other things, whether it be blues or heavier or metal, and we brought that into the fold, and with a new record, like I said, and the main thing that it should rock, and it should have the ingredients that make a good Pink Cream 69 record, and that's what we were striving for. I mean, when we make records, we never really sort of sit down and say, right, we've got a plan. We're going to make, we're going to need a song like this or whatever. Mm-hmm. We put the songs together and make an A and B list, and all the A songs get recorded. That's it, man.
Wow, simple. Now with this record and with most of the releases, obviously Dennis handles a lot of the production, for the band as well as playing in the band. Does that in any way make it difficult for everybody outside of Dennis to get their own input into the creative process? Because I have to imagine he comes in and hears and has a vision because of the production side, which might make him lean toward his own ideas creatively as well, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely. I mean, you could say, especially on this record, you could call him the mastermind in that respect. It was me initially. I basically wrote an email and said, "Look, guys, it's time. We've done our time, sort of lying a little bit, a few white lies about a new record company, and it's time to get down and make a record." And once the songs were there, like you say, obviously, he's got a vision and he knows where we want to go. And there was a couple of songs that we recorded that just were great songs. Really great songs, but just didn't fit the record, and it was clear that, that these songs wouldn't make a record, and, because we wanted to get that red line thing going on, the vein of the album from start to finish, that it's a solid piece of work. And also, I knew that I wanted to sing, a bit more aggressive on this record, you could say, harder edged. That's what I've heard from a few people anyway, So, I think in the past, there's always been sort of situations where, maybe arguments about direction and, opinions. But I think on this record, we left Dennis to it, man. And I mean, too many cooks spoil the broth.
Right, sure. Now I'm curious with the songs that you guys find that don't fit Pink Cream 69, and no secret that you have projects outside of Pink Cream 69. So does Dennis. Do you hold on to those songs to maybe find a place for them, or do you like to create something new every time you sit down for a new project, whether it's PC 69 or whether it's a solo record or your other bands?
Well, of course you do. You keep hold of that stuff. There's something in that song that you offered up that you believe in, of course. Otherwise, you wouldn't have you wouldn't have offered it up. You know what I mean? And it's important for me to I've got folders and bits and bats and directions, and I look back into my back catalogue that sounds it sounds like it's well organized. Unfortunately, it's not. It's sort of folders here, folders there that I look through, have a listen again, and it's funny. It really depends on what mood people are in sometimes with songs. It's kind of like some songs that didn't work one year, you try it 2 years later, and either someone says, well, I've heard this stuff before, it's still a bit, but,
Right.
And then sometimes, hey, this shit's cool. I've got an idea for this song. We can change this, change that. And, it ends up on the record. I mean, I wrote 2 songs on this record. I wrote Whistleblower and Bloodsucker.
Okay.
And they were new songs. Yeah, one song was a really new song, and the other one was new, about 4 or 5 years ago, that I'd sort of been messing around with, that never really saw the light of day, and it sort of needed the magical Pink Cream 69 Dennis Ward touch to sort of bring it alive. That would have been Whistleblower, and the middle part was then written by Uwe. I think Alfred was involved in a new kind of riff. I play guitar myself, but the guitar players, that's their job to sort of cool it up a bit. And,
sure.
That's how we work, man,
No doubt. Now, you did mention a couple minutes ago that you did kind of heavy up your voice a little bit. And was that something that you did because you, I don't know, weren't happy with the way you sounded on Ceremonial, or is it just you wanted to try a new thing, or what?
I just felt that it fitted the new material. With the material, what we wanted to be heavier. It should be a bigger production, a rockier record. It should rock. And I experimented with my voice before. I made many moons ago. I made a record with Almanac, and with Adagio. Mm-hmm. And on that record, I was singing, already kind of aggressive. We're talking already about 15 years ago or something like that. And I did the Almanac stuff, which needs that harder-edged voice anyway. It's more metal and stuff. And, I'd sort of found, you could say I found a new thing that I was doing, that I was enjoying, and it was feeling good and working really well. And it's not all over the record, There's places where I'm singing normal, but we did the first, I guess, 2 tracks, and I automatically knew where I wanted to go with a record, And sometimes you have to find that first, but with this record, it was really easy.
Sure. Definitely. Now for you, David, as somebody that has played on, I think about 340,000 different records and projects and stuff at this point, is it fun for you to be such a chameleon vocally, because you really do show a lot of different styles, like you said, with the Adagio stuff and the Almanac stuff? That's far different than the Pink Cream 69 stuff, which is kind of different even from the Voodoo Circle stuff that you do. I mean, you really do transform your voice more than most guys that I know of that play in several projects.
Absolutely. It's good and bad. I know that myself. I mean, a lot of people have got one sort of style, and that's what they do, and that's great, Mm-hmm. I mean, I've got like an underlying voice. I'd like to think that, if people hear me, they know who it is, and that's really important for me. But on the other side, I've always been the kind of guy that's been into a lot of stuff. It's definitely not sort of like trying to be like this or trying to be like that. That's how I sing. Mm-hmm. I do different styles. I know a lot of other singers who secretly pretend to be Elvis or
right.
pretend to be something else, and it doesn't necessarily see the light of day. But aside from singing different, I've got many influences from a lot of my influence definitely come from the 70s and probably early 90s, I would say. And I just enjoy just doing different stuff. It keeps you alive, keeps me alive. And honestly, if I hear some people's records sometimes, I just think it's just basically the same record again,
Sure.
but written backwards or something like that, and I think that for me personally is boring.
Sure. Now, the one project I saw that you joined fairly recently that surprised me, just because it really seemed like it's different than what you've ever done, was that you joined Tank. Talk a little bit about that. That just seems like an odder project for you.
I guess it is weird. I mean, for me, it's just business as usual. We did a couple of shows, and it's straight cut heavy metal. It's British heavy metal. And I think for me it was a combination of a few things. Quite honestly, Mick Tucker, one of the original guitar players, is also living in the Netherlands.
Okay.
I moved to the Netherlands a couple of years ago. I was living in Germany for 20 years. I now live in Holland, and he's also living here. And we got in contact, and didn't realize that he was a guitar player in Tank. Heard the material, liked it, and they had their singer ZP, of course. It was all good, and then things changed. He called me up, and I said, "Look, let me listen to the stuff. Let me get a bit involved in what you guys have done." And I just gave it a thought. Do I need this in my life? I'm already doing a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
And Mick's a great guy. I mean, he's such a rock and roll kind of guy, great guitar player. And for me, above all, more than anything, I like the old songs.
Okay.
I like the original stuff. Obviously, there's been lineup changes and the original singer does sing a bit different than myself. I put my own twist on there, but
sure.
What was I going to say? Yeah, it's a British band, and I haven't been actually in a British band in 22 years. I left the island 22 years ago. I've been back every now and then. They let me in sometimes, and look at me a bit strange, but more than anything, it was this British thing that I'd been sort of kind of looking for again. And we did the two shows. We go out again on Friday in Belgium, which is obviously not too far away from me.
Sure.
And we just have a scream, man. It's just front to back, easy going, rock and roll. We go out, we do our thing, very professional, a little bit of party involved.
Right.
And that's what I like, because like you said, I've done so many different things and so many records, involved with so many different people. And as you get a little bit older, I'll say a little bit older,
mm-hmm.
It's nice to have fun and have good times. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. I mean, obviously it's nice to be respected and be to sing well on an evening and all that biz. But at the end of the day, it should be fun. And you should be able to look back and say that was a cool tour or a cool weekend. And that's what, working with these guys, that's how it is, man. It's just so easy.
No doubt, man. Well, David, moving back to Pink Cream 69, I'm going to assume that the new year is going to bring touring for you guys. What are you guys looking at for 2018?
Absolutely. We're looking at the second part of March at the moment. I won't mention any names, but we're sort of negotiating with a very successful band, and we'll be going out with them the second part of March. We hope to do something in the beginning of the year. We're sort of the record was a little bit delayed, actually.
Okay.
So it kind of put us out of this surprise aspect of things. But I mean, we've always played. It's been a bit less than in the past. But the reason for making this record more than anything was to get us back on the map and to get the band back out there, And we still got a bit of life in us, We still rock, and we're looking forward to it.
Excellent. Well, the new album, as we said, is simply called Headstrong. It is available in any place that you buy music these days. David, as a tradition on the show, we always let the artist pick a closing track from the album, maybe tell us a story about it. So what would you like us to wrap this interview up with?
Righty. Let's go for Bloodsucker.
Okay.
This song is, we're not particularly political. We definitely don't write boy meet girls songs anymore like in the past, but a song that I wrote, and it was instantly a song that work, great riff at the beginning. You could say a little bit like Accept, and that was how the song sort of made its way on the A&B list, because we knew it rocked. And the song is about Donald Trump.
All right. Well, let's check it out right now. This is Bloodsucker right here on your Classic Metal Show.